Hello everyone, it's Dylan from Yugioh Everything, and welcome back to another Yu-Gi-Oh! 7's discussion video. This time we are actually going to be going over some news that we got a few days ago, I think earlier this week actually, in regards to Rush Duels, which is obviously the new featured format, the new featured way to duel of the upcoming Yu-Gi-Oh! Anime Yu-Gi-Oh! 7s. And we got some news that is not great news. I'm going to go over why I think this news might not be definitive and why I hope it's not definitive. Worst case scenario, best case scenario, all that good stuff. But let's just get right into it. So obviously, Rush Duels are going to be the new format in Yu-Gi-Oh! 7s, the new style of dueling. Similar to Speed Duels, but not exactly like Speed Duels. Now, a very important thing to keep in mind is Speed Duels are not in the OCG. Speed Duels are a TCG exclusive way of dueling, and so Rush Duels, which were announced at the same time of the Yu-Gi-Oh! 7's announcement, there was no confirmation that Rush Duels were ever going to be in the TCG. And unfortunately, we got word of, according to an article from YG Organization on January 20th, at the very bottom of this article, it's the article where they go over rarities and how regular rares are going to be gone and all that stuff. It says that Rush Duels will not be introduced to the TCG. For now, they will remain exclusive to Japan. Rush Duels are presently considered the OCG equivalent of Speed Duels. And that is not really what you want to see. And the reason that you really don't want to see that, of course, speaking from a Yu-Gi-Oh! 7's perspective, is there might not be need for an English dub for Yu-Gi-Oh! 7's if Rush Duels never comes out outside of Japan. Why would you spend money, why would you spend resources dubbing an anime that is, again, mainly, we all know at this point that the Yu-Gi-Oh! Animes are mainly to promote the card game. They're mainly to show off the synergy between different archetypes, the synergy between different summoning mechanics, and to promote new cards that you can purchase in the actual game, TCG and OCG. That's what Yu-Gi-Oh's main purpose is. Now, at the same time, Yu-Gi-Oh! Can still have a very captivating storyline, which I think most Yu-Gi-Oh! Anime do. Yu-Gi-Oh! Anime can still have emotional storylines, good plots, and I think for the most part, the Yu-Gi-Oh! Anime does that. At least they have plots that have captivated me over the years and so many others. But a main purpose, even if it's not the #1 purpose of the show, a major purpose of the Yu-Gi-Oh! Anime is to promote the new cards. If Rush Duels never come out outside of Japan, if they never make their way to the TCG, then why would Konami say, you know what, we are going to greenlight an English dub, we're going to spend resources doing an English dub, and promote Yu-Gi-Oh! 7's and Rush Duels to the TCG market, which is over here in the United States, Canada, Mexico, Europe, Australia. We are all the TCG market. Why would they promote a show and dub a show so that that market can enjoy the show if the product that the show is promoting is not accessible in those countries? It just doesn't make sense from a business standpoint. So that's not a good sign. I know a lot of people might be saying, oh, well, you know, it's the dub. I haven't really watched the dub in a long time. Konami Cross Media is the team responsible for bringing us the simulcast, which the simulcast is something that I know so many of us, including myself, are super appreciative of. And if Konami Cross Media is not going to have any responsibility in dubbing Yu-Gi-Oh! 7's according to Konami, because even though I don't know exactly how the relationship between Konami and Konami Cross Media works, I know Konami Cross Media is a subsidiary of Konami, so I would imagine that most things Konami Cross Media does, otherwise known as 4K Media, once known as 4Kids back in the day, everything they do probably has to get green-lighted by Konami. It's probably Konami telling them, this is what you can do, this is what you can't do, this is what we want you to do, and I'm sure Konami still has a very major part to play in what Konami Cross Media produces. And so Konami might turn around and say, well, the Yu-Gi-Oh! 7's is really just going to be a Japan-only show. There's no need to promote it outside of Japan because Rush Duels, the main mechanic that we're promoting, is not in the TCG. So we're just going to keep Yu-Gi-Oh! 7's mainly targeted for audiences in Japan, meaning A, you don't need to do an English dub, and 2, you don't need to do a simulcast, because the people that would need a simulcast are people that are in TCG markets. That's worst case scenario, guys, that Konami Cross Media does not do a simulcast and that they don't do an English dub. Worst case scenario, but it's possible now because we're not going to get Rush Duels in the TCG. And if that happens and someone like DMC turns around and says, you know, I'm busy with life, I don't really feel like dubbing the entire episodes, or not dubbing, but translating the entire episode subbed, we might not be able to get official subs anymore from anyone. We might not even be able to get fan-made subs from anyone. We might literally need to wait like months before an episode gets subbed, and that would really, really be a bummer for all of us that want to watch Yu-Gi-Oh! 7. So that is a major concern that I know a lot of people have, including myself. My honest opinion on it, and here is maybe the optimism speaking in me, but my honest opinion on it is that Rush Duels are going to come to the TCG in like fall of 2020, and that's when they're going to announce an English dub of Yu-Gi-Oh! 7s. Now, that's my hopeful prediction. The TCG, when it comes to the packs and the card game, is always months behind the OCG. That is always how Yu-Gi-Oh! Has done things. So for them to be installing a new master rule into the game April 1st, why would they want to focus on the new master rule and focus on Rush Duels at the same time being released in the TCG, while they still need to promote speed duels? They're still releasing speed duel packs all the time. I'm not sure how speed duel packs are selling. I've heard from a lot of people that it's been mostly a bit of a disappointment in terms of sales and play and tournament play and how many people are into it. I'm not really sure about that data. I haven't looked into it besides what a few people have told me, but that would be a lot for the TCG to handle right at the start of April. You let the master rule sit for a bit, you let the new meta and the new format get used to, you let players get used to the new meta and the new format for a few months, and then I think you install Rush Duels into the show, or into the game, I should say. That's what I hope happens. I hope the TCG does get Rush Duels, because if they don't, it could be a really bad sign for fans in the West that actually want to watch Yu-Gi-Oh! 7s. And not only that, but I really like the card designs of Rush Duel cards. So it would be a shame if we aren't able to access any of those cards over here in the TCG, and the only way to get them is to import them from Japan and import them from the OCG. But we're just going to have to wait and see. And, you know, if that happens where Rush Duels do come to the TCG a little later on, it should be fine. We should still get a 7s dub, which means we should hopefully still get a simulcast on Crunchyroll and hopefully not have to go back to the dark days. Maybe the Hong Kong sub team that subbed Duel Monsters will be able to kind of redeem themselves. I mean, I really, those Hong Kong subs were horrible. I really don't know what's going to happen, guys. But the fact that Rush Duels at the moment are not going to be in the TCG. Again, the wording is for now they will remain exclusive to Japan. It could be a really bad sign for accessibility to Yu-Gi-Oh! 7s, to a English subbed version of Yu-Gi-Oh! 7s for Western audiences. And there are a lot of people who enjoy the English dub as well. There might not be an English dub for 7s. So we'll see. Then again, maybe Konami will say, hey, even though Rush Duels are not going to be in the OCG, we still want you to dub this show. We still want there to be a simulcast. Even though players that are watching outside of Japan can't purchase these cards, can't play this format, we still want everyone to enjoy Yu-Gi-Oh! To its fullest potential. That's always another possibility as well. Just from a business standpoint, does it make sense to spend that much on resources to get it to TCG audiences, to get this show to TCG audiences, when there's not really much for TCG audiences to enjoy when it comes to the card game? I really don't know. That's, I'm sure, what Konami is going to have to deal with. But we will see if this gets resolved, or if Rush Duels will remain OCG exclusive. I'm sure we are going to get news on whether there will be a simulcast for Yu-Gi-Oh! 7s very soon, which I'm praying there is. I'm really hopeful there is. But we are just going to have to wait on word for that. And again, when word does drop on Yu-Gi-Oh! 7's accessibility, hopefully through Crunchyroll, I will definitely be making a video on that. But guys, that's just going to wrap this up. I really want to hear all your thoughts on Rush Duels possibly not coming to the TCG. At the moment, they are definitely not coming to the TCG. Do you think it's something that will happen in the future? Do you think Rush Duels will never make their way to the TCG? And much like Speed Duels being exclusive to the TCG, Rush Duels will be exclusive to to the OCG. Really excited to hear all your thoughts, and let me know how you think that could affect the accessibility for TCG audiences in regards to watching Yu-Gi-Oh! 7s. A special thank you to my Platinum tier patrons Alexa Baker, Glen McGookin, Jorge Carrillo, Horace Maye, Goosey Q, Vincent Van Der Veen, Panther J, Smith620, Jorge Leon, Blue Maiden 28, Jarrett Buller, and Gabe G, and to my Diamond tier patrons Jesse Wood, Latrell Smith, Sean, and Melinda Phantom, and to my Egyptian God tier patrons Joss Rivers and Syn Cloud. Thank you so much to everyone who is a patron and to everyone who is a channel member. I cannot tell you how much I appreciate you and how much you help me out, and thank you to everyone who just watches these videos. Without you guys, I would not be able to do this. I will talk to you all down below. Thank you so much for watching, and I hope you have an amazing day.